Chapter 3082 opens with Kathryn spending time at the Fortress Hotel with Sony. Sony, despite being warmly dressed, feels the cold and declines an invitation from Kathryn to go out. He prefers the warmth and comfort of the hotel, a decision influenced by his earlier morning shopping trip with his mother and Duncan. Kathryn, understanding Sony's reluctance, promises to take him to a children's amusement park another time. After spending a few more hours with Liberty and Sony, she leaves the hotel and instructs Mr. Fraser to drive her to the largest indoor children's playground in Jensburg. Mr. Fraser, puzzled by the request, inquires if she intends to play there. She reveals that she doesn't want to play but desires to see the innocent faces and smiles of children to heal her emotional scarred heart. This statement highlights the heavy emotional burden she carries despite her youth. Mr. Fraser, trying to lighten the mood, encourages her not to speak so somberly at such a young age, but Catherine insists that her experiences have aged her heart prematurely. This brief exchange hints at a weight of responsibility and the emotional toll that comes with her position in the Farrell family. As they prepare to leave, she suddenly asks Mr. Fraser a shocking question: whether he would be willing to lend her his seed so she could have a child. This question shocks him, who had just started the car. He immediately stops and turns to look at her, trying to process her unexpected proposal. His reaction is one of disbelief, as he struggles to understand the seriousness of her request. However, she is completely sober and explains that she has considered the idea for a long time. She admits that she cannot marry unless she relinquishes her responsibilities as the successor to the Farrell family, which is not an option for her. While Mr. Fraser suggests that she could marry a man willing to become a son in law of the Farrell family, she vehemently rejects this idea. She expresses disdain for the kind of man who would accept such a role, drawing a comparison to her own father, whom she clearly holds in low regard. She would rather remain unmarried than settle for a man like her father. Her disdain for her father and her determination to avoid a similar fate for her child shape her desire to carefully choose the father of her child. Mr. Fraser is left speechless by her candid explanation. He realizes that while she is not in a hurry to have a child, she is serious about eventually giving birth to a successor. She reveals her plan to wait until she has fully taken over the Farrell family before pursuing this path, intending to have a child before the age of 35, possibly through in vitro fertilization. He processes this information with a mixture of emotions. Although Catherine is not pressuring him for an immediate answer, the implication of her proposal weighs heavily on him. Mr. Fraser's feelings for Catherine are deep and genuine. He recognizes that, under normal circumstances, an all around assistant like him is not permitted to marry and have children unless it is with the person they serve, in this case, Catherine herself. He harbors the hope that he can gradually win her heart and eventually marry her, believing that this would be the best possible outcome for both of them. His loyalty to her is unwavering, and he is committed to her happiness, even if it means remaining in the background. The chapter concludes with Mr. Fraser silently resolving to continue supporting Catherine, regardless of whether they end up together as a couple. His love for her is selfless, driven by a desire to see her happy, whether with him or someone else. This loyalty and dedication underline the deep bond that has formed between them, setting the stage for the potential evolution of their relationship.